Are you tired of having your resume thrown out before you even get the chance to interview? If so, I'm gonna be sharing some tips to get your resume past more screenings. And the way to do this is very, very simple. Most students focus on having these flashy web dev projects. The problem with that is that because most students focus on doing that, the competition gets really high. Software is such a big field that there are thousands of libraries and frameworks that hundreds of companies are using and paying people six-figure salaries just to solve problems for. What you can do is start picking out some of the more popular of these libraries and frameworks and technologies and knowledge, really, and creating small projects to showcase that to make yourself seem more valuable. So we're going to talk about 4 libraries, or technologies, or whatever you want to call them, that I personally think are really valuable and that will separate you from your peers and help you land more interviews. The first one is called OpenGL. This is something that I used on my resume, and I got 2 internship offers. One with Lockheed Martin, which was paying about $30 an hour, and the other with the Penn State AR Labs, but that was around $25 an hour. And what was crazy is that both of these interviews weren't even interviews. I walked up to the people at the career fair and they gave me the offer purely because I had OpenGL on my resume. It's not something a lot of students are doing because it's actually very challenging. Don't let that discourage you. You don't actually even have to make a hard project with this. I made a snake clone. It took me like 2 days, and those 2 days of work to make this little cute project got me 2 internship offers. So this is something that I would highly recommend you playing around with, maybe making a small project, just recreating like a retro game. It's really going to help you stand out, and it's going to help you land more interviews and maybe just offers without the interview. The second thing that I think is really going to help you separate yourself is operating systems development. Now, I know that sounds really complicated. It is. However, there are a lot of good resources like osdev.wiki that will walk you through the basics of creating an operating system. Imagine you're applying for, some embedded systems project or, kernel development or anything with networking, and they see that you have done like a little bit of work in operating systems. You're going to look better than everyone else at your school that's applying for that job. You're basically just opening up more doors for yourself. And these are the jobs that pay a lot in software. You don't have to do anything complicated. You can follow the tutorial on OS Dev. You can get a project out there, and it is just going to help your career so much because you're going to be able to pass the resume screening at so many more companies that a portfolio website or merge sort visualizer wouldn't really help you with. The third thing that I would tell you to focus on is mobile development. This is a bit more popular. This is not like a rare niche thing like the other two, but mobile development, just making a really small Android app, using Kotlin or Java, making a really small iOS app if you have an iPhone, just learning some Swift. Having a basic app on your resume is going to open you up to a whole lot more positions. It's really going to help you stand out because every company is making an app nowadays. Every company has a whole team of app developers. Every big company has a bunch of apps. Like these are things that you can apply for the rest of your career. It's a very useful one to learn. The last recommendation that I have is to get involved with undergraduate research. I know this is really different than the last 3 that I just listed. However, undergrad research will expose you to so many interesting things. It's going to give you a great talking point when you are going up to recruiters. They're going to see you're doing research to try to help, the computer science field or whatever. Me personally, I did a project at Penn State. I was working with a professor and a PhD student and one other undergrad student, and we did a locust movement prediction model. It was just such a cool experience. I learned a ton about like neural networks, CNN, just machine learning, things that really gave me good talking points when I was going through interviews. It helped make me stand out. If you couldn't already tell, the tips that I'm giving you are really to pick out more niche technologies, libraries, just whatever it is, and kind of drill into that a little bit. You don't have to go that deep. Just make a small little project showcasing your abilities. Doesn't seem like much to have these bare bone projects that you can do in a weekend, but companies love it because you might end up saving like 10% of your internship time, right? Maybe the first week is just you making, the very beginnings of an operating system. So you learn how, assembly works, how the startup works, the bootloaders, how it all interacts, all those things. Maybe that's your first week of an internship, and now you know it. You just save 10% of the time, and you can add value to the company that much quicker. These little things actually do make a huge difference. I would encourage everyone who's watching this video to look into the things that I'm telling you about and to try it out. It's gonna help you get more interviews.